Since the 16th century, they've been choosing mayors in Gravesend. And for the last 42 years, councillors have been voting for the first citizen of Gravesham. Who will be next on this roll of honour to succeed Michael Wemben? These people will decide. The chosen one will occupy this office, the Mayor's Parlour, with all the trappings of history and one of the best views in the civic centre. First though, the outgoing Mayor has to perform one last happy duty to present the Pride in Gravesham Awards 2016.
Mr Mayor, Deputy Lieutenant, Honorary freeman, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, before the start of the formal part of our business this evening, we have a very pleasant task to undertake, which is going to be a double act between myself and the Mayor, and that is to present the 2016 Gravesham Community Awards. These awards acknowledge not only local, often unsung heroes, but also organisations and businesses which have made a significant contribution to the life of the community. Many worthy nominations were submitted, so the judging panel had a very difficult task in choosing the winners. But they manfully and womanfully stuck to their task and did so. And the awards will be presented tonight by Gravesham's Mayor, Councillor Michael Wemben. The first category is for an outstanding individual, somebody who has done something outstanding over a period of time. The winner is a lady who celebrates her 80th birthday this year and has volunteered at the Gravesham Citizens Advice Bureau for over a decade, unfailingly giving 2 days per week of her time for the community. She helps people visiting the Bureau by providing information and support to them, whether they are having problems with debts, housing, benefits, employment, or relationship issues. Every week she helps around 30 people, and it's been estimated that over the time she's been with the Bureau, she has touched the lives of more than 15,000 people and, of course, their families. Not only does she support the community, but she is also tremendously supportive of her colleagues too. And she has trained new volunteers in how to answer telephone calls and record them properly. She is endlessly cheerful, a phenomenal morale booster to all at the Bureau, and an asset to the Gravesham community. She has made a selfless contribution to the community and supported people at what is often a very difficult time in their lives. And the award goes to Honorary Smith. The next award category is for a community business, and it's really to recognise a business that has gone that extra mile to really support the community. This business opened in Gravesend in January 2014, and at their opening event they fundraised for both the British Heart Foundation and for Stacey Mole and raised £3,000. In February 2016 they undertook and completed an ambitious fundraising trip, driving from Gravesend to Amritsar in India for the British Heart Foundation to help their research known as Mending Broken Hearts. They worked with the business community to secure sponsorship to cover the costs relating to the car and the trip, but personally paid for all their accommodation and other costs. They have demonstrated fantastic community engagement to raise money for Mending Broken Hearts, raising, in fact, over £22,500. That's an incredible amount of money to raise in itself, but the business has also demonstrated commitment, passion, tenacity and drive to raise that money, but also support other community events. For example, they've supported other fundraising events in Gravesham to assist other organisations. And I think they're fully deserving of the recognition that this award confers. And the award goes to Jag Singh Gruel and Performance Cars. The next category is the Young Person of the Year Award, an award designed for a young person with special qualities. And this year for the award, we have two young people. They are aged 11 and 12, and they work in partnership every week, come rain or shine, and irrespective of other youthful distractions. They assist, support and guide younger children aged 8 to 9 at the Word on the Street Youth Club on King's Farm, an area I'm sure we all recognise with a high level of deprivation. They show great initiative in the work they do and help with all practical tasks and are also proactive fundraisers. I'll give you a quote from Albert Froku, youth worker and team leader. He said, "I am so proud of our young volunteers to see them moving from just attending their youth club to becoming volunteers. Their initiative to help as volunteers will lead them to achieve great things for their future life." And I'm sure that's absolutely true. And the award goes to Rhys Roberts and Acacia Newton. The next award category is the Best Group Award. This award is for a group of local residents, many of whom have been involved in the group for a number of years. Each year, they pull together the infrastructure for a major event, including vehicles, drivers, and participants from all walks of the community. They also work with local businesses to pull together a procession through the streets of Gravesham. This event enables residents, organisations, charities and businesses to forge greater links with the community and raise their profiles. Many of the participants raise money for local charities, and each year around £500 to £600 is raised for both local and national charities. All members of the committee give up their own time and make personal financial contributions to plan the event, raise funding to cover the cost of the event, and work on the day to ensure it is a safe and enjoyable event for all the participants. Committee members also regularly give up their time to help marshal at other local events, such as the Vaisakhi celebrations and the Remembrance Day parades. And the award goes to the Northfleet Carnival Organising Committee. The next category is Sports Achiever of the Year Award. And this is for someone who has made an important contribution to sport locally. The winner is 12 years old and is in the Great Britain Development Squad for figure skating. She has been skating for 8 years and has been in the squad for the past 2 years. She skates 18 hours a week, before school, after school, and at the weekends. and yet somehow she still manages, I'm pleased to say, to fit in all her school homework. After a very hard working year, she competed at the British Championships in December and recently secured a podium position of 3rd place at Skate Southern International. I'm told that she has no idea just how talented she is, as she is also always very modest when complimented. She's a very brave and an inspiring young lady, and her fellow skaters say she is a pleasure to be with. She is always smiling, no matter how hard things may sometimes get. And despite being thankful for all the opportunities that she's already had, she continues to train really, really hard and compete, and aspires to one day represent Great Britain at the Olympics. For someone of a young age to be as talented and aspirational as her will hopefully inspire others to seek to reach the very highest levels in their chosen sports. I'm delighted to say the award goes to Kayla Fry. The final category is the Safer / Better Community Award, which seeks to highlight the efforts of an individual or group to make their community a safer and better place in which to live. Now, we all know that homelessness is a problem right across the country, and sadly that includes Gravesham. With his family and friends, a man wanted to do something for the community to make it a better and safer place, and particularly to help the homeless people in Gravesham. He approached the local Gurdwara to cook food in mass and offer free food, langar, to the homeless in the town centre. Now, as we know, those who are under the influence of intoxicating substances are unable to enter the Gurdwara to receive free langar. Therefore, he thought it would be good to have the food made and distribute it to homeless in the town centre. Anyone, no matter what their colour, creed or religion, is welcome to eat the langar. The food is free and you can eat as much as you like. The group began dishing out langar in August last year on the promenade, but as the evenings got darker and colder, they moved to the cafe in the high street, and as they quickly started to grow, they moved to the Grand, where every Tuesday evening they have over 20 homeless people attend that are able to have a hot meal and snacks in a warm place. They do all this on a voluntary basis, whilst also working full-time. It provides the homeless with food in a warm and safe place, with workers who are able to give more support to these vulnerable individuals, which has a beneficial overall impact on their health. Hearing some of their stories is a stark reminder that none of us can really be absolutely sure that we are that far away from being in a difficult financial position. As the Americans sometimes say, you're only one paycheck away. The atmosphere that's created is deliberately relaxed and very informal. Everyone mingles with everybody else, and so they can chat comfortably. For that hour or so, they can almost forget their plight and eat and talk in a relaxed, pressure-free environment. And this is all down, really, to the efforts of one man and the generosity of the Gurdwara. So, the award, I'm pleased to say, goes to Indy Vrach and Gravesham Langar Seva. just before we finish, we have two more special awards, and it's a great privilege for myself and Councillor Cubitt, the leader of the council, that we have an opportunity each year to consider the award of civic awards for contributions to the community that we judge to be very special. And tonight we have two of those. The first award goes to someone who initially contacted the council to offer his filmmaking skills during our very first ambitious Christmas programme, which hopefully you will still remember, known as the 12 Days of Christmas. His love of Gravesham, and particularly the town, are evident in his films, and since that initial contact, he has gone on to work with the council at many of our events, providing films at no cost and cost price as sponsorship towards the events. This has proven to be of huge benefit to the town and its residents, and has really put Gravesham and Gravesend in particular on the map. He is now a regular feature at our outdoor events, and he takes hours of film to ensure that the final film version is perfect and really reflects and captures the mood of the events. He has been an absolutely brilliant partner for the council, and the borough has benefited from beautiful films of events which will become a historical reference point, as well as providing something that the community can be proud of. For helping to develop lasting references that celebrate the vibrancy, diversity and the wonder that is Gravesham and its community at its best, I'm delighted to say that the Civic Award goes to Scott Dunleavy of Cinema Works.
Don't film that.
In respect of the second Civic Award, which is the final one of the evening, just by way of introduction, I want to say that at the end of 2015, it was estimated that there were 850,000 people suffering from dementia in the United Kingdom. And this award is going to a group of people supporting the carers of people affected by dementia. If I can just say on a personal note, having witnessed both my father and mother suffer from dementia in their later years, this is something that is particularly close to my own heart, as I'm sure you'll understand. The group has been running for over 30 years, and in its time has provided help and support to many hundreds of Gravesend residents at a time when they most needed it. The support group is run by a group of dedicated and selfless volunteers who quietly and effectively provide social support, arrange outings, give advice, and offer a listening ear to carers in what sometimes can be good times and what sometimes can be bad times. They are truly unsung heroes. Some of the current volunteers have been in place for many, many years, and they turn out weekly, whatever the weather, to give their time and energy to help others. And I hope you would agree, they thoroughly deserve recognition for their selfless devotion. So this Civic Award goes to the Gravesend Carers Support Group, and a number of the volunteers are here to collect the award on the group's behalf. Very well done.
Number 3 on the agenda is the election of the mayor for the forthcoming ensuing municipal year. I will now call for nominations for mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I'm pleased to nominate Councillor Greta Goatley, and if I may, I'd like to say a few words before that's seconded. With your permission.
Please do, Councillor.
Well, Greta was born in Womble, near Barnsley, South Yorkshire, in 1940. This was at a time when, in fact, many young people from Kent were being evacuated to places like Yorkshire to be in a place of safety. She came to Gravesham when her husband's work brought him here in 1969. She has a financial background and quickly gained employment in that field, becoming a Deputy Finance Officer at the Magistrates' Court and then later at North West Kent College. During that time, she helped many people put their lives together, often in difficult circumstances. She honed her redoubtable people skills during those decades. Her daughter Victoria was born here, and her son Jonathan brought up here in Gravesham. Her daughters provided her with 2 grandchildren, Anne, 11, and Ellis, 8. They are the apples of Greta's eye, and 1 or 2 of us would have heard about them a few times over the years. And there's very little doubt that Victoria will make a fine mayoress, supporting her mother, provided we all give her support, of course. During her time in Gravesham, she's been an active member of the Women's Institute, so some of you may have suffered either cakes or jam or something of that sort. And then when her late husband retired, after being a river pilot, they moved to Lanzarote. But even during that time, Greta was able to rekindle interest in swimming, but never lost touch with Gravesend and was a frequent visitor. She didn't so much as enter politics as be pushed, maybe seconded into it. And she stood as what was called, or we often call a paper candidate, and you'll understand why we mean that specifically in this, in a ward she couldn't possibly win. And one of the reasons for that was that she was standing against the redoubtable Councillor John Lockley. And nevertheless, Greta showed her tenacity when John's majority was only a couple of thousand, so Greta demanded a recount. Well, she finally became a member of the council and has held on to that position in her ward of choice and where she in fact lives. In doing that, she's kept her promise to the people, and I'm not quite sure what she's doing in her dressing gown, but she often meets with people as they come down from Windmill Hill, past her house, and talks to them about the constituency business. We thought we'd make use of at least one of Greta's skills during her time, and so we made sure she would be on the licensing panel. There's an element of that which I'm sure she's an expert with. Having said all that, Greta has been a very steadfast councillor, taken her responsibilities extremely seriously during all of the posts and positions she's been asked to fulfil. So, Mr. Mayor, I feel it's a great honour and pleasure for me to nominate Greta Coatley to be next year's mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Do I see a seconder?
Yes, my pleasure to second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Now, are there any other nominations for the post of mayor for the coming year? Thank you, Councillor. As there are no nominations, I now have great pleasure to declare Greta Goatley the forthcoming mayor for the next mayoral year.
I, Greta Goatley, having been elected Mayor in the Borough of Gravesham, do hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof, according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Mr. Mayor, Councillor Goatley has made her statutory declaration of acceptance of office, and now she is Madam Mayor.
Well done, Madam Mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I shall be very grateful if you would all now be upstanding for the national anthem. Now, there's going to be a very short intermission during which robes will be exchanged. Ladies and gentlemen, the Worshipful the Mayor will make her installation speech now. Please be seated.
Deputy Lord Lieutenant, Honorary Freeman of the Boroughs, Honorary Member of Parliament, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the honour you have paid me this evening. I promise I will try to fulfil your trust to the best of my ability. It is seldom possible to walk in the footsteps of those who you follow, because we're all different and we all do things differently. I hope this year my way will be pleasantly different too. 9 years ago, I was asked by Mike Snelling to stand in the Central Ward by-election. I agreed, but I told him, I'm not a politician. People are my forte, and I will work to provide an open door for my constituents. To this day, I prefer to talk directly to people rather than engage in streams of electronic communications. My love of Gravesend began when I came here 47 years ago. My son, Jonathan, was 2, and my daughter, Victoria, who is to be my mayoress, was born here. Gravesend has been very good to us in so many ways, from my children's schooling to providing a place to call home, a home now where my grandchildren are growing up. I have seen many changes since moving here, especially the coming together of many cultural organisations which have linked schools, businesses, and everyone, especially through the festivals and events supported by this council. I really look forward to attending as many of these events as possible. To all these organisations and others, I offer this message. If you want the mayor to be there, consider me your martini girl. Anytime, any place, anywhere. You all should be proud of your borough. Sometimes it takes an outsider to remind you that you have the heritage and the people, the elected representatives and the public servants who make Gravesham special. Take it from a Yorkshire lass that you have plenty to be proud of. I shall be tireless in promoting Gravesham in the coming 12 months and be proud to do it. I must say a heartfelt thank to my predecessor for accepting me as his deputy. No one could wish for an easier person to work with. When the list of forthcoming engagements came in, he would always offer me first choice. I had to remind him that it was his year. He let me have the official car since I no longer drive, often driving himself to events. Thank you, Mick. You are a superb role model. I promise I will try not to let you down. My charities this year will be the Eleanor Hospice Children and Young Adults Support and the Dementia and Alzheimer's Charity. These are causes very close to my family, having had Victoria's father. He died with dementia. Finally, may I say that since being elected as councillor, I have supported every mayor, starting with Harry Smith. Now I'm asking you for your support in the coming year. And it begins with a civic service on Sunday at St George's Church at 10 a.m. I sincerely hope you will be there. Thank you for this special honour and the faith you have placed in me. Thank you. The best thanks of the Council to be accorded to Michael Wenman in the manner in which he has conducted the office of Mayor during his municipal year. This will be seconded by...
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm pleased to second, and with some very short words from the short speech I gave when Mike was appointed. He had pointed out that he needed a mention as being a boxing champion, so we could have expected his year to be a bit of a knockout.
Well done.
What we didn't necessarily know was that those of us who attended his ball, he was going to show us a few moves, and he will now forevermore be known as Mick Jagger Wemban. So well done, Mick, and thanks for an absolutely splendid year that really kept the borough together. And very happy to second, Madam Mayor.
I would like to invite the Mayor to the stage to receive his past Mayor's badge. Sorry, Councillor Wenban.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Now, there's an old saying, time flies when you're having fun, and goodness gracious, hasn't it flown? Was it a year ago that I stood here at the start of my mayoral year? At the time, I knew I had to live up to a lot, actually, and I knew after John's successful, marvellous year as a mayor, I had a lot to live up to. Well, John, I gave it my best. I hope it comes somewhere near yours, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, there's a bit of a shopping list here, so I hope you all bear with me. It won't be too long. First of all, I'd like to thank all of the councillors here that supported me through my mayoral year. It is very important that we all do our bit to help the mayor, and I'd like to thank everybody here that throughout the year, come rain or high water, you dared to support me. That was really great. I'd also like to thank Jacqueline as my chaplain for the year. She's done a sterling job, and I'd like to thank her very much. Now, the mayoral year, well, what a lot we had. We had a fantastic visit over to our twin town, Newminster, which was thoroughly, well, as I say, it was great, apart from the weather. We met the STAT president at the town hall, and as I say, it's great to have this town twinning, and you suddenly realise what it's like in other countries, how they do things. So, as I say, it was very, very good and very worthwhile. Now, I'd also like to thank all the organisations that invited me to all the various events, both in and out of the borough. We've met so many mayors. When I say I mean all three of us, the mayoress, myself and the deputy. We met so many lovely people, and as I say, it was thoroughly enjoyable. We went to so many schools, and it's really heartening, the youth in the borough. You know, we need never fear about the future. We've got so many bright young people here with so much energy, and I think we can all be proud of them. Also, we were very lucky. We had 3 people in the borough, 4 actually, that attained the age of 100. And there's hope for me yet, I think. But it was really good to go and see them. And actually, we've got one lady that's 103, and it was lovely to go and visit them and just show how much we value and the experience and talking to them of their long life. Also, I'd like to say thank you to all the volunteers. Now, some have had awards today, and they've done absolutely wonderful things. But I think we ought to be mindful of all the volunteers, all the people in this borough that give up their time free for the youth organisations, the Eleanor Hospice, the House of Mercy, the Street Pastors, many organisations, the Sea Cadets, Army Cadets, Navy, Air Force Cadets, Scouts. All of this work is being done and undertaken by people that give up their time. I mean, Peter's organisation there with the allotments. I was really moved to go and plant a tree at St Bottles. The work that they do is marvellous. They're unsung heroes, as was said earlier on. And I don't think we ought to forget them. And I think we should help them as much as we possibly could, because without these volunteers, the borough, well, no, the country would be a much poorer place. Also, just like to mention one thing that didn't go unnoticed. Now, when we had the Northfleet Carnival last year, it was one of those strange days when it was really, really hot. Now, some of those young people have been on those floats for hours. And when we came through the town, there, out of nowhere, were people from the Sikh community giving out bottles of water and Coca-Cola and cold drinks. Now, no one made them do it. They did it because they showed they cared. And that went down a long way. And I'd like to thank you, because there is so much being done. And I say that was just an instance of what was done there. And as I say, it was much of it. It didn't go unnoticed. And I thought that was brilliant. Also, we have, again, as mentioned in the borough, I hope I'm not going on too much, but as was mentioned earlier on, we have got a homeless situation. And I was lucky enough to go to the house, I went to the House of Mercy on Christmas Day. And the work that's done there, absolutely brilliant, looking after and mentoring these people. Absolutely wonderful. Serving up soup on Christmas Day at the Salvation Army. You know, it gives you a bit of a glow. They do so much work, and the reason I'm mentioning it, because I think they deserve a mention, because they're such wonderful people. And as I say, all of these things, the other good things that were, as I say, people say to you, what was the best event you went to? But they were all good. I can't narrow it down. But the big events, I mean, Versace was great. How did I look in the turban? You liked it, did you? I've still got it. Thanks very much. I mean, there was the Northfleet Carnival, the Christmas Santa Dash. That was great. I came last, behind Father Christmas, and I cheated. It's not very good. But to see the youth there, everyone engaged, we have got a wonderful borough, and as I say, I'm really proud. I'm really proud of the borough and the things that we all do. We all do. And as I say, I'd just like to thank everybody involved in that. I'll probably miss out some things, but, well, what you going to do? Now, also, the mayor's part is quite easy, really. I mean, you just get chained up, pushed out, and you're there, but you don't realise, people don't realise what goes into it. And the thing that makes it so much easy, and listening to other mayors, we're very, very lucky. We've got a huge support system behind us. I mean, now I'll probably miss people out, but I hope I don't. I mean, in the committee section, we've got Bev, Kylie, Sue and Chris, Leslie Button and her team, Simon Hookway and his team, Jackie Denton, Melanie, Sarah, and of course, Graham Cole, who laid on that wonderful film for us. They all help. They all help. And if I've missed anyone out, I'm sorry. But they make things so easy. Now, the other most important person in all of this, and I don't know where he's lurking, but it's John. John the chauffeur has been chauffeuring mayors about for 14 years. The secrets that man must have. But as a true gentleman, he won't tell you. If I was Bertie Wooster, John would be Jeeves. He tells me what to wear, where to go, what to say. He's absolutely brilliant. He's the linchpin. And Greta, you're very lucky to have John, and so have all the other mayors that have had him before. He does a wonderful job, and I'm really, really thankful for everything. That's all on the good side. The bad side, I'm going to have to start driving myself now. But there we go. Just go on to, again, and I think all the mayors, ex-mayors will agree with this, the two most quoted, answered questions that come to you is, A, is that necklace made of gold? B, are you enjoying it? Answer to both questions, you bet. I've thoroughly enjoyed my year. I'm also very proud, I am proud actually, I think I'm right in saying that I'm the first waterman in the borough ever to become mayor, and also probably the last magistrate. So I'm very proud of these two facts. And as I say, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've probably missed lots of things out, but hey. But I know that Fiona and I wish Greta all the best. She said earlier on about, she was praising me a little bit, but I don't think we ought to take anything away from Greta, because I'm not very good at organising. Greta is brilliant. The ball was all down to Greta. She's been such a help to me through the mayoral year, and I can't thank her enough. And I know she's going to make a really good job of being mayor this year. And as I say, I hope we all get round her and help her to have a fantastic year. And if you enjoy it as much as I've done, Greta, you're on a winner. Thank you very much to everybody. I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time. God bless you all. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Michael, would you like to come up to the stage?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Fiona, can I ask you to come up and receive your past mayoress's badge? I'd like to invite my daughter now, Victoria, to come forward and receive the Mayoress's chain. I'd like to ask Canon Stone to come forward as my chaplain for the year, please. He's got the cross. I'd like to ask for nominations now for the office of Deputy Mayor. Councillor Cubitt.
Please to nominate Councillor Krask for Deputy Mayor.
And second, Madam Mayor.
Are there any other? Right, no. Declare Councillor Krask as Deputy Mayor.
I, Harold Krask, having been elected Deputy Mayor in the Borough of Gravesham, do hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Councillor Krask has made the statutory declaration, so is now the Deputy Mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I should now like to announce that my wife, Veronica Krask, will be the Deputy Mayoress for the current year.
Could I ask Anne and Ellis to come forward, because I believe you have some bouquets to present.
Madam Mayor, it gives me very great pleasure to announce that at an extraordinary meeting of the Council held on the 8th of December 2015, it was agreed that in recognition of their eminent service to the Borough of Gravesham, the following persons be admitted as honorary freemen of the Borough pursuant to Section 249, Section 5 of the Local Government Act 1972. And they are William Graham Dyke and James John Loughlin. May I now invite Bill Dyke to come up to the stage, please.
The second is that I will continue to do all my best to impress the people of Gravesham.
Thank you very much.
Now, the reason I've got this robe on tonight is that I'm asking the Mayor to put the clock back to 1965. In 1965, that's 51 years ago, when we had a council, Gravesend Council, and we all wore robes. This evening, we are missing lots of things. We're missing the flowers in the centre, for one thing. We're missing the brass band up there we used to have. But we used to have many, many other things that built up the annual council meeting. One thing is that all councillors, the Mayor, of course, all along, has wore his robes. The Mayor is wearing the robes now. In the past, up to 1974, when we changed from Gravesend to Gravesham, we wore robes. So tonight, I'm looking through my wardrobe at home, and here we are. The last Gravesend robe, I'm sure, is never, I'm going to hand it over in due course, but it's there that we used to always wear them, and we were proud to wear them, proud to wear them. Madam Mayor, 65, yes, Bill, the old young Bill, was elected for Gravesend East, that's part of Riverview, Chalk, the Lion Gallows area, Dickens Estate as well as part of my ward, and I was very proud to represent the Gravesend East until we changed to Gravesend to Gravesham in 1974. 1974 we changed to Gravesham, and we had a very successful 42 years I served on this council, and I'm very proud of the fact that to be here this evening. Thank you all. I'm glad to see so many people that I know in the past, and it's also some of the newcomers who I would like to meet later on at the reception. But Bill Dyke is now, afraid age has taken over. Instead of being 38, was it 65, 38, he's now 88. So anyhow, thank you all very much indeed. I'm overwhelmed, I can tell you, I'm overwhelmed. Thank you all.
Could I now please invite John Loughlin to come forward to the lectern on this side.
I, James John Loughlin, do solemnly and sincerely declare that I will at all times use my best endeavours to preserve the peace of our Sovereign Lady Queen Elizabeth II, and that I will continue to do all in my power to serve the best interests of the people of Gravesham. Madam Mayor, fellow councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, when it became known that I was to become a freeman, several people contacted me with their congratulations and best wishes. However, they all ask the same question: what exactly is a freeman? Of course, I got the usual wisecracks, like you'll be able to drive your sheep without let or hindrance through New Road, and you can claim the grazing rights for your sheep on Windmill Hill. And one old chap came up to me in New Road last week and said to me, "I believe you're going to be made a freeman." I said, "Yes, I feel very honoured and privileged. The sermon is at the Civic Centre next week." He thought for a moment and he said to me, "Isn't that where you have to roll up your left trouser leg and bare your right breast?" I said, "No, I think you're confusing it with something else." So I did a bit of research and found that there is a reference to freeman in the charter granted to the town of Gravesend by King Charles I in 1632. It's a lengthy document, but this is a very short extract. "And we further will and grant to ye aforesaid that no inhabitant nor inhabitants, dweller or dwellers in the villages and parishes aforesaid, and liberty or precincts of the same, shall be admitted into ye number of freemen, unless he or they, who using art or manual occupation, have first served their full time, according to the manner and custom of apprentices, and ye laws and statutes of our kingdom of England, and in that case made and provided. And hereby we declare our royal will and pleasure, that every such person or persons so professing, and art or mystery or manual occupation, or holding, enjoying, occupying any lands, be preferred, admitted, and received into the number of freemen, and all manner of offices as belong or concern a freeman to do or act." So now you know.
There we go.
Seriously, Madam Mayor, it is a great honour to be made a freeman, the highest honour that the council can bestow on one of its citizens. And the fact that there has been only 6 other recipients in the last 42 years makes this even more special. My wife Bridie and I came to live in Gravesend 49 years ago. We bought a house in Allroad West and we still live there. Our children were born in this area and they attended local schools. And indeed we now have grandchildren attending local schools. So I think I can safely claim that the Lachlan family are well and truly established in Gravesham. I have a great affection for Gravesham, Madam Mayor, and I get very annoyed when I hear people slag it off in the media for no good reason. Gravesham is a great place, and its people are the salt of the earth. In 2004, I had the privilege of being mayor, and now to be made a freeman really is the icing on the cake. In July this year, Bridie and I will celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary, and to receive the freedom of the borough in the same year will certainly make 2016 an extra special year. Finally, Madam Mayor, I would like to dedicate this award to homeless people and to all those who help them. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, that now brings us to the end of the meeting, and I will now officially close the meeting, and I'll hand you over to the Chief Executive, who will explain to you now what's going to happen. Thank you very much, everybody.